Okay, here we've got two vintage card backs. They're from the 70s and 80s. You've got a Canadian Sandperson 12-back card back and a German TIE Fighter card back from about 1982. So we'll start with the Sandperson. So, oops, you've got the Sandperson here, and it's on a Canadian card. You can tell because it's got the two languages there, English and French, and then it's the bog standard picture of the Sandperson or Tusken Raider, and this is from, you can see it's had the proof of purchase cut out on the back, and if we look at the back we can see that it's very similar to a US card. So it's got the description of the figures at the top in English, and then here it's got it in French. So you've got the two languages, which was what was law in France, in Canada, sorry, that you had to have all products labelled in English and French. And so if this had the figure on it, it'd be really rare, and it still is rare to get a Canadian 12-back card, excepting that it's got no proof of purchase there, it's been cut out. And as you can see, it's got the classic image of the 12 figures there, the first 12, hence the name 12-back, and then the land speeder, the X-wing and the TIE Fighter. These are just drawings, and then a description of pulling out the telescoping lightsaber, which was quickly replaced with the pull down version. And you've got the descriptions in English and French. The French ones, oh, they both do, they both give the height of the figures in centimetres and inches. So that's your French 12-back Canadian card. So this is a sort of cheaper way of collecting vintage Star Wars stuff, by just grabbing the card backs without the figures on them. Okay, this is a German TIE Fighter card, 45 back, Empire Strikes Back. Looks exactly like a Palatoy card on the front, and it even has the age instructions in English. So this is a German card, Imperial TIE Fighter pilot, and on the back it has 45 figures pictured, plus at the bottom, this is what makes it particularly nice, is what it says there. So it's got some German words, and then at the bottom the address, General Mills in Germany, and then 1982 Lucasfilm Limited. So I reckon these, as far as I know, these were carded in the UK and sent to Germany. That's why most carded, if you wanted to buy some German figures now, they're most likely to come from England. So that's your German card and Canadian card. So these two vintage foreign cards. So I've got some carded German figures. I've got a few on this card, not the TIE Fighters. I've got the Han Solo, the Bosk, a Rebel Soldier and Rebel Commander. Hopefully some more soon. And then the Canadian Sandperson. I've got a few Canadian items. I've been collecting a lot of Canadian stuff of late. So this is a Canadian card, very nice. With unfortunately the pop's been removed, so that's the only drawback. And but this is a rare thing. To see this carded would be, I mean, to see it with a figure on the card would be mega rare, and it would cost a lot of money. So there you are. That's two vintage foreign cards. So there you are. You've got the Empire Strikes Back TIE Fighter pilot and the Canadian Sandperson. I love that picture though, it's classic. So there you are. Okay, here we've got two of the 2010 vintage collection Wave 1 figures, and I've been really bad at collecting these. I've only just got these now. So we've got the Cloud Car pilot on the Empire Strikes Back card, and Forlon also on this Empire Strikes Back card. These both have the classic image from the 1980s, so the same picture as what they had back in the day, and you can see that the Cloud Car Pilot's been totally revamped and modernized, as has Forlom. Obviously, I'm a vintage collector, so I remember the old names. So there you are, two of the vintage collection figures. So now this means I've got these two plus Darth Vader. And have I got any more? Well, I've definitely got the Darth Vader, I've shown that. And oh yeah, the Magna Guard and the Sand Trooper, I've got those. So this is not. And if you look at the back of the Forlom, it shows you the original card with the figure. I've got one on the Jedi card, and then you've got the rest in the range. You've got the Vader, you've got the Han Solo, which I've also got, I'll show you that next, plus the Luke in Bespin, which I wanted to get but I didn't get, plus Leia and the C-3PO. So I've got all of these, well, apart from the Han, on vintage cards, I mean from the 1980s, so you know, I've got that Luke Bespin on a Canadian card, that's quite a rare card. The Leia Hoth I've got on a Return of the Jedi card, and on a Tri-Logo card, and the C-3PO I've got on a couple of 12 backs. Not in the best condition, but you know. Okay, so these are the vintage figures, and that's Forlom, excellent figure, well articulated and nicely detailed. It really looks like the image there in the photograph, and he comes armed with this really long rifle or machine gun. Well, it's based on a German World War II machine gun. So there's Forlom, and it's on a replica Empire Strikes Back card. And then we've got the Cloud Car Pilot, and he's on an Empire Strikes Back card, and he's grown a moustache. Looks pretty similar to the vintage figure, a bit more articulated, and the helmet looks removable. Comes with a small pistol, and with the vintage figure came with a pistol plus a little communicator device, which is easily lost. So there you are, Cloud Car Pilot, and he's inside his car in the picture, and there's the back. I've got this on the Empire Strikes Back Kenner card with the Revenge offer on the back, plus I've got on a Jedi card. That's the Jedi card one's on YouTube, early video I did, so yeah, if you blink you'll miss it. So there's Cloud Car Pilot. Okay, so I'll put those back. You've got Cloud Car and Forlom. Have a closer look at them. So you've got Forlom and trim-powered Cloud Car Pilot, both with the Kenner logos at the bottom, just like they had in the back in the day for the US cards and Canadian cards. So they. Okay, here we've got the Han Solo. So this is from the 2010 collection. This is the first wave. It's Han Solo in his Echo Base outfit, and this is the first time this figure's been released. So it's on a vintage style card with the silver foil, and it comes with a welding tool and a welding mask, and it's quite a nice figure. I've seen a lot of reviews of this figure, and most complaints seem to stem around the jacket, that it's not removable. So that seems to be people's biggest gripe with this figure. But Hasbro or Kenner are trying to do something different, so, and we've never had this release. Now, I know now that you can get the Han and Bespin on a retro type card as well. So this is the first time it's been on this card, and it's got a nice picture of Harrison Ford there in Hoth, on Hoth, and you've got the picture on the back. So it says first issue vintage Han Solo card 2010, and then you've got at the bottom all the other figures in the rave. And as I just said earlier, when I was looking at the Cloud Car Pilot, I've got the Dengar coming as well. I don't know what's happened to that. That should have come with these four figures. You've got Luke in Bespin, Leia Hoth, and C-3PO. So this is a Wave 1 figure. The Wave 1 ones, some of them came with most of them came with this foil effect stripe around the card, and it just makes him look so much better. So that's your Han Solo in Hoth Echo Base outfit. Nice card. Sorry about the lighting, the weather's really bad. It was sunny this morning and now it's gotten all dark and grey. But I want to get all this stuff reviewed. Okay, here we've got the Rebel Commando. Okay, so my camera just played up just now, so back to the Rebel Commando. And it's on the Return of the Jedi retro card, and it's exactly the same card, or very similar to the original card. And there's the figure, and this figure is leaps and bounds ahead of the original figure. So he comes with a removable hat with a bald head, beard, goatee beard, which isn't what that guy has in the picture. He has a camouflage jacket very similar to the Han trench coat from 2007 or 2006. It comes with a rifle very similar to the one that came with the original vintage figure, and a pistol and a little backpack which is packed underneath the boots. And the figure's nicely weathered, it looks really nicely detailed. So, and the card just looks pretty nice, glossy. So it's a wave 3 figure, so there's the original on the back of the Return of the Jedi card. I've got one of those. I'd like to get one on Tri-Logo. And then you've got the other figures in that wave. You've got the Wicket, Yoda, Luke, Capture, Roof or Klaatu, and R2-D2 serving drinks. So these are the two figures, the Han and the Rebel Commando. I think I need to put the light on, it's gotten a bit dark. Okay, so we looked at some 2010 figures, and we've looked at some a couple of vintage cards without the figures, and now we're going to look at a couple of a Saga Legends and a Clone Wars 2-pack. So the Saga Legends figure is the Space Trooper, and this is a re-release. It's got a nice illustration there of the Space Trooper. This is the second version of the Space Trooper. There was one back in the expanded universe on Powder Force, which I still haven't got that one. Once I've got that one, I've got all the expanded universe Powder Force figures. As you can see, it's a really good figure. It's really bulked up, muscular. Well, not muscular, but looks very kind of robotic, and it's got sort of flaps for flying with in space and a jetpack. And he comes with a kind of, the pistol looks rather small in his hands. And he's got sort of robotic looking legs. So that's the Space Trooper. Excellent figure, Saga Legends. And there's a close-up of the actual what do you call these, Galactic Battle game card. And on the back it has a picture of the figure and a sort of comic book illustration of the Space Trooper. That's from like the old Dark Empire series. And then you've got Saga Legends, other figures in the range, Stormtrooper, Battle Droid, Mace and Obi-Wan. And I see at the bottom those warnings, that's a new feature there. Before it had tons of tiny little print. So that's your Space Trooper. Let's put that back. And next one we're going to look at is the 2-pack, which I got from Sainsbury's in the UK. It's ARF Trooper Raxa and the Battle Droid. And it's exclusive to Sainsbury's in the UK, so I'm sure you can get this in America, but if you want to get that in England, you can get this 2-pack. It's on sale at the moment for £10. The figures, the Saga Legends figures, are on sale for about £5.30. So there you are. And it comes, I got it mainly for this one because he looks wicked, sort of camouflaged ARF Trooper in the sort of brownish tan camouflage with the helmet, looking a bit like a sort of prototype Biker Scout. Looks pretty cool. It comes with this massive Gatling gun and a pistol, and the Battle Droid is in red with yellow highlights, and comes with a Battle Droid blaster. Great artwork on the card. So you've got the Battle Droid and ARF Trooper Raxa. And then on the back, let's see what it says on the back. You've got the two characters, same picture, and the other two you can get. You can get a Special Ops Clone Trooper and Geonosian Drone. So hopefully they'll get even more reduced, and I'll pick those two up as well. So there you are, the two figures I picked up yesterday. Okay, here we've got in 1985 or 84, I think it's 85, Ewok on a Canadian card. It's not an Ewok, it's actually a Duloc Scout, but it doesn't say the name of the character on the card at all. It's a French and English Canadian card, so it's got the language in French, so from the TV series, and it's the same thing in French at the bottom, and then it's got Star Wars and La Guerre des Étoiles and the ages in French. And there's the Duloc Scout. So he comes with a sort of club, and he's got quite a large head, red eyes. So the only Duloc I don't have now is the King Gornish. The rest I've got, and I've got the two Ewoks as well. There weren't many figures in this range. This one's kind of nice because it's got the wrong coin with it. It's got the Lady Urga, or whatever her name is, coin. So that makes it a bit nicer. And all the Canadian cards didn't have pictures of the character on them, they just had the same generic cards. So here you've got a picture of Wicket and Nisa. Sad that I know these characters' names, but you know. So, and there's little Wicket as well up there as well. And the back of the card is the 6 figures that were available in the range. You've got Wicket, I've got that one, I've graded, I've got that one, which I've done a recent review of. That's the one I haven't got, the King. Then there's the Lady Agra, then there's the Scout, and the Shaman, Duloc Shaman. So if you've ever seen the Ewoks cartoons, then you know what I'm talking about. And then there's all the stuff that you could get with them. The Ewok Battle Wagon, the Ewok Village, or Treetop House, and then 2 accessories, the glider and the catapult. And so this is your Canadian carded Ewok figure. So I think all the other ones I've got are on US cards. So this is my first Canadian Ewok figure. And they're just as common as US cards. Should be no price difference between the two. So there you are. Okay, here we've got a droid Kia Mole character on a Canadian card. So this is my first vintage droids card on a Canadian card figure. I've got 2 others. I've got on the back it tells you I've got Jord Dusat and Jan Tosh, and I did a review of them a while back. So if you just want to see them. Well, I didn't really do a review of them. I just took loads of pictures of them and stuck it to music. So here, this is Kia Mole. She's slightly rarer than those 2 characters, and it says on her coin that she's a freedom fighter, and it's on a Canadian card. So you've got Vlix in the background. He's like probably one of the most valuable Star Wars figures going, and he was only released in Brazil. So there you go. It's just like the Ewok figure I just showed you there. It's got the French and English languages, and then you've got the figure there, which is she looks quite chubby in this sculpt. Her neck looks quite flabby, as do her arms, and she comes armed with a Bespin blaster in grey, so that's this like squid head gun. So there you are. Bubbles on these cards tend to yellow. And then let's have a quick look at the back. So you've got in this series you could get 12 figures, including Boba Fett, which cost a fortune, and the A-Wing pilot. And some of these figures are quite tricky to track down. And then you've got in English and in French there. Okay, and the year at the bottom it says 1985. So that's your droids figure. Okay, one more look at the Canadian droids and Ewok figure, Kia Mole and the Duloc Scout. These figures didn't really sell very well, so after the Return of the Jedi line and the Power of the Force line, Kenner tried to keep Star Wars going, but by 1985 everyone was getting into computer games, and well, I certainly did, and so I lost interest. So these are the sort of the dying embers of the sort of vintage Star Wars line. Not everyone collects these. Some people don't consider these worth collecting. I've only recently started collecting these ones, so you know, and it's still not too expensive. Some are, I mean, like Vlix's cost a fortune, but some of these ones aren't too. They're not going to break the bank, as they say. So that's, and they're both Canadian. So these are both my first Canadian droids and my first Canadian Ewok. So there you are. Time to say. Okay, here we've got a couple of those proof cards or sample cards from the SDCC, San Diego Comic Convention. So this is Darth Vader from the 2010 collection, and it's a nice card. It's on the Empire Strikes Back logo with the original Darth Vader picture with the Kenner logo there, and it has a picture of the original figure there from 1980, and then the other figures on the range. And this is just a proof card, super sample card. So the only difference I've been told is that this is blacked out. So there you are, and then that's the Darth Vader sample card, and you can pick these up quite cheap on eBay. So that's your Darth Vader sample card. Okay, so we've looked at the Darth Vader card, and this is a later one. This is from this year. This is on a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's Princess Leia slave outfit, and this was also given out at the San Diego Comic Convention, and it's got a picture of Carrie Fisher dressed in her very famous slave girl outfit, and she looks like she's stabbing someone with her laser spear, and she's on top of the Jabba sail barge. So you'll be able to get this figure carded soon, or I think you can already get it. And it has Revenge of the Jedi, so there you are. So everyone knows about Revenge of the Jedi, that back in the 1983 George Lucas was going to put the film out as with that title, but then he changed his mind. And you can get a few from the 1980s. You can get vintage cards, very rare, with the Revenge of the Jedi logo. And then there's this one's got the what do you call this, proof of purchase on it though. So that's the only difference with that and the Darth Vader one. And there's a picture of the original slave girl Princess and Powder Force card, which is easy to find. Okay, so let's see. There's Leia in Revenge of the Jedi on a Revenge of the Jedi card. And so that's going to be a big seller, mainly because of the picture of on the card. I don't know how good the figure sculpt is. So you've got the Leia there, plus the Darth Vader on the Empire Strikes Back card. Okay, here we looked at a Revenge of the Jedi card from 2011. This is the real thing. This is from 1983. This is a Luke Hoth card, Luke Skywalker, and it's a Revenge of the Jedi card. It's AFA graded. So this stems from originally George Lucas. Everyone knows this anyhow, but George Lucas was going to call Return of the Jedi Revenge of the Jedi, but then he had second thoughts. But by then Kenner had already developed the Revenge of the Jedi logo for these cards, and so now these are highly prized by collectors. I've just been looking on eBay and to see what sort of prices they go for. So you can get them. They range from about, cheapest you're going to get them is about £200, and the highest you'll pay is for a really high grade example is £5,000. So these are like, if you're a mega collector, this is the only one I've got, and it'll probably be the only one I'll ever get. So it's Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth card, Kenner, and it's graded by AFA just 85. Revenge of the Jedi Luke Skywalker Hoth proof card, 1983, Kenner Star Wars. And it has a free offer there for Neon None, which you got on the Return of the Jedi cards as well, which were carded with the figures. And so this is the Revenge of the Jedi from 1983, and that's why You're getting the new cards now with Revenge of the Jedi logos, like that Princess Leia in slave outfit on the Revenge of the Jedi, just because that captures all that sort of mystique of Star Wars collecting. This is like one of the holy grails of Star Wars collecting. So if you're like a big time Star Wars collector, you have to get, well, you need a Revenge of the Jedi card, a yak face carded, whatever. And you need, those are sort of holy grails. I mean, the vinyl Kate Jawa, that's like a holy grail as well, something that you'll never really get. I haven't got a vinyl Kate Jawa. Okay, so this says free neon numb blah blah blah, figure from Star Wars Revenge of the Jedi. So there you are, there's Neon Numb. I've shown a 48 back Princess Leia on the Return of the Jedi card, and that's very similar to this, except instead of saying Revenge it says Return. So that's the back of the card. So this is your Revenge of the Jedi proof card. You can tell proof cards that at the top the cards are rounded, but at the bottom they're squared. So that's how you know it's a vintage proof card. And you've got a nice picture of Luke on Hoth. This card picture was used on all cards, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back and Tri-Logo. And it just says Luke Skywalker Hoth Battle Gear. It's unpunched, this card, so it's Revenge of the Jedi. I don't know if this will be the first on YouTube. It could be the first Revenge of the Jedi card on YouTube. That is really a vintage Return of the Jedi card. I'm sure someone's got something about the new Revenge of the Jedi cards. So there you are, Luke Skywalker Hoth on a Revenge of the Jedi card. Very expensive. You're talking about, there's quite a lot at the moment. There's about 10 of them on eBay. One in Australia, which is the same Luke Hoth, grade 80, and that's for £275 plus £50 to ship it from Australia, and that costs more than this one. So, you know, the only defect with this is that the AFA case is slightly cracked just there. Nothing major. I can live with that. So you need big money to get a Revenge of the Jedi card these days, especially if it's graded. So as I said before, you're talking about minimum £200 maybe, if you're lucky. So Revenge of the Jedi, Luke Hoth. There's about 50 of these cards, 50 character cards, and the rarest one is supposedly the Rebel Commander. That's meant to be really hard to find. There's one of those on eBay for about £700, so that goes to show you how valuable that one is. But then the most expensive ones are the ones like Darth Vader, the Luke Skywalker, Han Solo on the original picture cards from the like 12-pack back pictures. Those ones go for big money. So there you are, Revenge of the Jedi.